Look what I got in the mail today. Yeah, let's do a review. All right, so here's how we're gonna do this. Let's see the startup. Looks nice. I still gotta register it, right? The first thing that I noticed is that it's a bit wobbly. It's not like it's just on my table, and my table is normal, but this thing is just wobbling. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but let me register it and let me try and make like a simple beat, and then I will share my initial impressions. Right, so I don't want to sample anything because you know, if I sample shit, I might get a copyright strike, even though this channel is still not monetized, so please just hit the subscribe button so I can monetize the channel. But yeah, let's record something with Akai's own plugins. So it goes like this. All right, that's enough. I am having way too much fun with this. But let me share a few thoughts and tell you a few things that I noticed with this thing, and maybe that's gonna help you with deciding if you should buy it or not. All right, so the first thing is that the Keybed is actually pretty good. I was skeptical because some people said on the internet that it's not really that good, but actually I don't mind it. The worst Keybed that I have right now, so just like as a reference, the worst Keybed that I ever saw on a keyboard is on my Yamaha Mod X7, right? It's like a DX7, but like Mod X7, whatever. And that's literally the worst Keybed that I have in my studio. And by the way, this is not my studio. My studio is in another room. This is like a video studio. But yeah, so the Keybed sounds pretty good. The action is pretty good. I don't know if you call it the action. We call it action on the guitar, but like it's responsive. It's not too hard. It's not too soft. It's just right, honestly. The pitch wheel is good. The mod wheel is great. They're both like very sturdy. They are like made of plastic and rubber. I think that like it's rubberized on the top, but like it's honestly, it's pretty good. The issue that I have is the pads. So the pads themselves, they're pretty I would say cheap. Coming from the MPCX, yes, they are larger, like you get larger pads, but also they're more responsive. Because like sometimes when I hit the pad, there's nothing is happening. And I gotta really like hit it pretty hard for it to respond. And honestly, I do not like it. So the next thing would be the screen. The screen is smaller than the MPCX. Like, first of all, the first thing that I don't get is why can't you tilt it? Like, I know that like it would be a bit more expensive, but still, like, tiltable screen is a must-have right now, I would say. But the screen resolution is good. Like, I think it's the same like on the MPCX, but it's just smaller, so it looks better, basically. But sometimes it's unresponsive, and I've been hitting things and it just wouldn't like respond and do the thing that I want to. Now it's responsive, but like trust me, sometimes it's just like wonky. Now coming to the right side, the Q links are here, and there is a lot less Q links than on the MPCX, of course. You do have like a mode switcher, so you have 4 Q links, but this is going to be another bank, and this is going to be another bank, and you're going to control different things, right? That's fine, I guess. It's not that bad, but when we come to this part here, this is something that honestly frustrates me. So first of all, okay, load, save as. I like that you have the save button here, sure. That's great. But what I don't like is that the browse feature is not here. I cannot find it anywhere on the fucking keyboard. So if you want to switch samples, you got to go into the menu and then to the browser. Which, like, it's an MPC. It should be able to do it with one button. And, like, that just, I don't understand it. I understand that, like, it's a keyboard and all that. And honestly, to a degree, this is something that I was dreaming about when I was a kid. Like, it's an MPC, you can make beats on it, but you can also play the keyboard, right? Because, like, I'm a guitar and a keyboard player and all of that, and, like, I'm not great at any of it, but I can find my way around it, and I can make songs with it. Now, don't get me wrong, the whole format is great, but the fact that you don't have a browse feature is just like mind-boggling. The next thing that I dislike about this thing is when you're in the browser, let me go into the browser, how do you get out of the like folder? So on the MPCX, you have those like directional keys or like arrow keys or whatever. So you press left and it's just gonna go out. The only way to do it here is on the screen. And as I've said, sometimes the screen can be unresponsive. So I'm missing that, and I don't get why did they like add a minus and a plus. So with a minus and a plus, you're scrolling, but you can also do this. Like, what's the difference? Why would I do this instead of this? Like, I don't get it. Maybe you're gonna use these buttons for something else, on like, I don't know, in the programs or whatever. But when you're browsing, you only need this, and that's it. And there's one more thing. Yeah, you have the ARP, you have the latch buttons, you have the metronome and all of that, keyboard control. Having an ARP button, like a dedicated ARP button, is great, honestly. But the best part about this whole thing is that you have the time correction button here. Like, oh, you can't see it. So the time correction button is here. So if you want to quantize your drums or whatever keys, whatever you played, it's right here. And on the MPCX, yes, it's like there on the Q link, but it's not as good as this is. Like, you just click on it and you can choose like what measurements you want to and all of that. And that's honestly amazing. And when it comes to the inputs and outputs, you've probably already seen this because, yeah, you'll probably watch other videos. I'm not sponsored by Akai, so I didn't get this early. I bought it with my own money. And yeah, you have the power supply thingy, you have a USB. This one is for the flash drive. You can see it. There we go. This one is like for connecting with your PC. You have the SD card here. I would prefer if this was in front, but sure, like you can't because of the keys, I guess. I don't know. You have the record volume. Again, I would love to see this like here, like on the top. But sure, it's here, so whatever. And then you have 2 1/4-inch inputs, like jacks, inputs, 2 outputs, phones. You have the CV gates. You have only like 8 of them, I guess. I never use these, so I have no idea. I don't have any modular stuff. And honestly, I do not care about this at all. And then you have the most common things, the MIDI in and out, the sustain pedal, expression, etc., etc. So it's not as packed as the MPC X is, but then again, it's cheaper and it has a keyboard. And that's the whole thing. You have a keyboard. Like, it's very light. I don't know how much it is in like grams, kilograms, or whatever imperial units you use as, like, I don't know, hippo feet, because you guys always have some weird shit to compare it with. But it's pretty light. If you're going on a vacation, you just need like a pair of headphones, and you have the power supply and this thing, and it's just gonna go into one like rucksack or like bag, whatever, duffel bag, and you're good to go. You can make music when you're outside your house or outside your studio and all of that. And that's the best part about it. I've heard that some people were pissed off that it doesn't have a battery, but like, if you had a battery, it would be more weighty and it would be like not as cheap. But then again, having a battery, like, why would you have honestly, like a speaker and a battery? Yeah, I don't get it. I would rather use my headphones every fucking time than like a built-in speaker. Like, a built-in speaker cannot sound good. If this thing had it, it would be sounding cheap as fuck, and then people will complain like, oh, well, why isn't the speaker better? I don't know. Like, I don't even need a speaker. You just have your headphones, and that's it. You make music on your headphones. You come to your studio, and then you mix it on the fucking monitors or whatever. So for me, that is honestly not an issue. The only issue that I had with this thing, as I've said, were the pads and the lack of a browse feature, like a dedicated browse button. And maybe if Akai sees this, I would say that they should switch these buttons to be like forward and backwards in the folders. So like, you press minus and you exit the folder, then you're in. Because like, that's gonna make our lives easier. Maybe plus, just change the plus to the browser. Or maybe just like give us a way to keybind it to something else. I don't know if that's a thing, honestly, because I always used the MPC X for like, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years. Like, I didn't change anything on it. I just used it and made beats and made music with it. Like, I'm scared that I'm gonna come off as stupid and ignorant because I just don't see it. But I just don't see the browse feature, like a browse key on the Key 37. And honestly, that is it. It's just like a small, simple little thing that works. And there are some things that could work better, like the pads and a button for browsing. But yeah, it's just not that it's not that bad. Like, yeah, you can click on the screen. It's like two more clicks on the screen. Fuck it. I don't know. Is it worth it? I think it is. And it's like a really good creativity tool. I'm probably never going to use it in standalone mode because I don't do that. And like, I have a big ass studio. I have like all the CPU power. I have everything. And I don't need to use it in standalone mode. And the only reason why I would use it in standalone mode would be if, I don't know, I went on a vacation and I just brought this, and yeah, then yes. But other than that, I don't like the beat that you heard. I made it on the PC, and this thing was in controller mode. And I know that I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for that, but honestly, fuck off. No, but like, it's a bit too expensive for a controller. But then again, you get a touch screen, which is pretty fucking neat, and you can scroll through it, and it's connected to your PC, and you can see your disk drives and all of that, and it just like works perfectly with the MPC software. So yeah, I would say that it's worth it. But yeah, share your thoughts in the comments and tell me what you think about this, if you tried it or not. And thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons and channel supporters that are supporting me for like doing these kinds of videos. If you want to become a supporter, there's a link down in the description of the video. It's a Patreon link, you know how it works. And there is some Patreon exclusive content over there, but it's from before, from another era of Grumpy Eye. And yeah, I'm talking about myself in third person for whatever reason, but I did run like a bigger and a different channel before. Now I'm running this, and it is music related. It is about my studio, how it works and all that, and how like all the equipment that I have. So if you want to check it out, check it out. But if you want to support me, you can always do that. And yeah, again, thank you for watching. And this was not a sponsored video. I'm always going to be honest with you, and I'm going to say if something is shit or if it's not. And this thing is not shit. It's pretty fucking good. It just has a couple of issues. But yeah, thank you for watching, and bye.